Hello, everyone. Good morning, good
Welcome
afternoon,
back.
good day. Welcome back. Yes.
Yo.
I don't know if you got double music during that intro. I just realized I had two things playing, but we got a double vibe check because we are vibing
Two for
today.
one.
Yes,
Two for
two for
one.
one. We were vibing. I've been rocking out to Chromatica. So thanks for being here and not on Lady Gaga's YouTube channel listening to the album and not watching the live stream of Hairspray that's happening right now on YouTube. Thanks for being here with us at Office Hours. My name is Andrew Hochradel. Who are you, person next to me?
I am Nick Longo from Los Angeles.
I like
That
you
is
thought
me.
about it.
I know. I was going to come up with something clever, but I think both of us have been on screens far too long in the last few days. Just going to leave it safe.
Yes, Vanessa, thanks for joining us. Been waiting all day, taking some notes. Yes, it's going to be a fun time. That many funs. Excellent. That was a lot of funs.
That was a lot of funs.
Yeah. Hello, Gregory, Katrina. Hello, Lisa. So many friends. So thanks for hanging out with us today. If you've never joined us before, Office Hours is a live show that happens every Friday at 1 p.m. where Nick Longo and I give you feedback about how to step up your portfolios, how to get noticed in the market scene.
Marketplace.
And general tomfoolery and shenanigans. There's a lot of shenanigans here on this stream.
Yes. And we will review portfolios with our topic in mind. What's our topic today, Andrew?
So our topic today, in the description down below, says something a little bit different. That's actually next week.
Next week.
If you guys are like, oh, I'm so excited for this topic, come back next week. We're going to be talking about...
we're marketing geniuses.
Yes, marketing geniuses. Today we will be focused on getting noticed. What is the way to get noticed in your portfolio? What is a way to stand out among the crowd and really communicate who you are as a creative and as a designer? Yeah,
I'd love to know if anybody in the chat who is actively looking for a job, yo, what's up, Steven? Let us know. Tell us.
Yes.
I'd love to know who's looking for a job. What are the hurdles? What are those things that you're finding to be a bit more struggling now more than ever because of the job market? Our goal today is to give you some tips as far as how to stand out. And I can't wait to get into some of these portfolios later as well to show you what's working and what's not.
Yes, so fun. Nick, where can people find you on social media?
Wow, you guys can find me at Longo Designs on Instagram and Longo Designs Inc. on Twitter. We are fully engaged with all this and find you guys all throughout the week. So yeah, definitely hit us up there.
It's true. And I'm on all social media at hoch.co, HOCHDOTCO, no punctuation, all letters. And yeah, tweet at us, Instagram at us, tag us in posts, take a screenshot right now of us doing this weird face. And then you can post it and let us know, follow along. So some other ways that you can get involved in our community. Nick, my favorite part of the show, pointing above us, you can go to this bit.ly link and that will get you into our Slack. And that is where we help you connect with other people who are looking to improve their portfolios, get some feedback, and just generally get involved with the community. It's so important to get involved with the creative community. Nick and I were just talking before this. The reason that we're doing this show is because we jumped in and went to a conference together and got involved in the creative community. So we can't do that right now, but Slack is just as good. Go hang out and make some new connections there.
It's the new conference.
It's the new conference.
Exactly
Canceled Con is the new conference.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was my setup just for you.
Thank you. Shameless plug. Let's hop over and I'm going to show you one more way that you can get involved. And that is the daily creative challenges. They're happening right now with Julia. She'll be continuing through next week. And if you stick in 2 weeks, I will be back as your host for another daily creative challenge. We will be doing a cooking show and learning the basics of Illustrator through the lens of cooking, which is going to be really fun. So you can check these out and get involved, watch replays from this week. I also want to highlight a very awesome opportunity for all of you, and that is Adobe Portfolio. Nick, have you used Adobe Portfolio before?
100%.
Yes. Have you had students use Adobe Portfolio?
More ways than one. Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Adobe Portfolio is great. I believe it's included with Creative Cloud. I know right now, I think that the first 60 days are free. I want to say that. Lisa in chat can correct me if that is wrong, but I think that the first 60 days are free.
Yeah.
And you can use Portfolio to make some amazing websites. And today, that will be our theme. We will be looking at portfolios that are using Adobe Portfolio to showcase their work. So it'll be super fun today, and you'll see the diversity and the complexity of Adobe Portfolio to be able to show that off. So Nick,
excellent. Yes.
Let's jump in and talk. Actually,
we have something to announce first, right?
We have something to announce first. I forgot about this. Yes.
Two things to announce.
What are we announcing, Nick? Go ahead.
We're announcing the winner of the Creative Cloud 1-year membership that we have kind of given out through the in-between episode ones. And that person is?
That person is Imogen Anderson. Imogen Anderson, you are our winner. Congratulations. You tweeted to us, showed us your workspace, gave us a little peek into your process, and you sent us your portfolio on Twitter using that hashtag Adobe Office Hours. So thank you so much for tweeting in. You're our winner, Imogen Anderson. Say hi in chat if you're here. If not, we'll be in contact and we will find you.
And we asked for you to stand out, and the first thing we noticed when what she posted was a nice little spot of her workspace, and we were like,
yep,
perfect.
Yeah, so we love seeing your workspaces. We love seeing projects you're working on, and not just a link in a tweet. We love to see who you are as a creative and as a designer, and what you're doing to hang out. So we have another announcement, Nick. What is our next announcement?
This is getting tired. No,
I know,
this
right?
Is the best. We are giving away 1 more year subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud today.
Yes.
One of you lucky people. We need to see you in chat so we know who to award it to, but
yes,
that will be coming up later today.
Exactly. That'll be coming up later today. We'll give you some more details as we get through about how we're going to do that. And we may have more announcements at the end of the stream. Who knows? We have an endless source of announcements and fun because this show's great. We love the show. We have a bunch of fun. And if you guys want to have something that you want us to cover, that you're like, it would be fun for them to cover that, drop it in chat right now. Our team is taking note of those. And as we schedule out future programs, we'll take those into account and talk about those. So let us know what you want to hear us talk about. My goodness.
Oh, our winner is in chat. Our winner is in chat. So yes, congratulations. Yes. So glad you were able to get it.
Congratulations.
She's going to put it to good use too. We totally know that.
Yeah, make some cool stuff and send it to us. Let us know.
Excellent.
Nick, all right, so today we're talking about standing out. Do you have any advice in general about how to stand out with your portfolios, with your work?
Where do you begin, right? I think you gotta, everything we are giving you guys as far as the tips and tricks for your portfolio and everything, I like to think of that as the stuff that is out there speaking for you. Like, so if someone does come across your your website, there's a glimmer of who you are and something about you. There's some personal stamp there. But then there's also the stuff that you could be doing in addition to that. And that's in the job search. I'd love to know, tell us where you're looking for jobs. I think it'd be neat to see what kind of take, where you're finding it, where you're looking and what you're seeing. But one of the things I came across the other day on LinkedIn was a great thing about saying, if you're out there and you're that college grad or even just someone looking for a job, don't just apply for the job. Track down someone who works at the company that's there. And you might, who knows, if you're in the same city, there might be a mutual connection. Just even if there's not, go to that person, make a link, tell them how interested you are in that thing, make a personal connection to that company. That could be a really cool way to fast track yourself in, and at least be something more than just like, a digital resume. Right?
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. And I think, so I agree with that, is find a way hi Keith, find a way to stand out and not just in yelling into a crowded room. Find a way to pull your client into that corner and say, hey, let me tell you about you. I had an amazing student once that her whole thing was, it was very like sweet, fun, very like, I don't know, just like fun and light and like delicious kind of work. And her business cards, she laser etched her business cards onto marshmallows and then handed out cups of hot chocolate with her business card floating on top at her senior show.
That's called standing out.
Yeah, and I was like, that's one of those things that like I'll remember that forever, because it was something that was unique, and I immediately understood who she was and what she stood for. So if you are working on your portfolio and standing out, you want to answer these 2 questions first. And if you're taking notes, take notes on these, write it, tweet it, tag it. You want to figure out, what do you want to say and how do you want to say it? Those are 2 questions to start. Is how do I want to communicate myself? And then what do I want to communicate? And then what is the way that I want to communicate that? And I'm going to show some examples from Nick and I, not to just be like, here's our stuff, but I think that we have done this well in a couple different ways. So I'm going to start one more time. I'm going to hop into browser. There we go. So this is a campaign that I launched for 2020. It was an utter disaster because all the conferences got canceled, but it was fun. And it was Hawk 2020. So I started hosting some conferences and realized this is a way that I could put myself out there. I went full-time freelance and I thought, how can I put myself out there to get brand recognition in a big splash that's unique? And so I ran a fake political campaign to host every design conference in the United States. I did a photo shoot. We built a brand. I targeted the people at Adobe Max. And when you're talking about standing out and trying to pull your client into a corner, I created this list of all of these are buttons that go to specific places so that when you click on one of these buttons for the conference to host, it's going to take you to Twitter. It's going to populate a tweet that I've already written that will tweet directly to the right person to get into contact, right? And then able to show a little bit more of my work at the bottom there. So this is an example of something that I wanted to stand out, and instead of yelling into the noise, I wanted to be able to have a way to grow the community and then have them be ambassadors to very specific to people to get notice and to get more recognition. This was great for getting recognition. Unfortunately, all the conferences got canceled in 2020, but this did lead to Canceled Con happening. And so it ended up being a great campaign to raise that awareness, which I think was really cool. So hopping over to Nick's portfolio. Nick, do you want to talk a little bit about your portfolio and what you've kind of done to stand out? I know you can't see my screen, but I kind of just scrolling
from the very beginning. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure there's commentary, there's lines of copy there that would be what I would say to somebody to make that first impression. Things about what we value, things about the fact that we can design a brand from scratch. And that's kind of a little nod to the whole idea of being in food and beverage mostly, is that using keywords that really emphasize all the stuff I'm trying to project, and I'm not there. So I want to make sure that they're getting the point across. And then showing plenty of examples before you've even dug into the work and you going into the branding section. There's tons of good stuff there to just fill up that anticipation of, I'm thinking, why did they come here? Why did they come to this site? Were they looking to find great examples right at the very beginning? I don't want to make it too confusing for them. In fact, I've been streamlining it even more and more as we speak over the last few weeks. So to me, I just want to make sure that they understand I am the person they were hoping to find, and let's make a connection, right? Showing them every variety from the most corporate to the most fun and everything in between.
Yep. And what is some of the work that you do the most of? What's your sector?
Food, beverage, and restaurant.
Yep. So
has to be it.
So Mensa made a comment. He's making me hungry. Yes. So that leads into the next point that I want to say. When you are curating, especially your work, I always ask people on any project, on presenting a portfolio, of doing a student portfolio review. I'm like, cool. So like, what's the thing? Like and I love asking people this question right off the bat, is be like, so what's your deal? Because people are like, it's whatever. That I love the question of like, so like, Nick, what's your zone? It's like food and beverage, exactly. And when you look at this work, it makes you hungry. You're thinking about food and beverage and you know exactly what to expect. Design informs what is to come. And so being able to have that design that tells me who you are and what to expect as a creative is so, so important. And
you can have that. You don't need the years and years of experience. I think what you could do is you could tailor it to appropriate like opportunities that are happening right now.
Yes.
So you can change that idea. You can mess around with it. You could try things out. And if it ain't working, flip it the next day and see what's going on.
Exactly.
You'll know if it's working for you, if those people are applying back or doing whatever. But I think it's just, that's about just getting noticed. That's just those little things that are just cues to who you are. Like you say, who you are, what you want to do, and what value. I always say that. What value are you going to bring to an employer or to a client? And if you just think of that and add up all those benefits that they're going to get working with you, I think that's just the best building blocks for, putting together anything online. Like this.
And that's funny. Somebody said they are making sure that we call logos Longos from now on.
Thanks, Steven. I see that.
Also, do you want to plug your podcast? Somebody asked about a podcast. You were doing it right before this, actually.
Yeah, we have the Deeply Graphic Design Cast, which is basically geared more towards freelancers and people that run their own design business. And then we do one called the Creative Course, which is literally like my class sessions from school, and we put them into courses online that you can listen to, binge, hear a whole topic, and have fun with. So
Super
fun stuff there as well.
Super fun.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to show one more thing that we
Go for
talked
it.
about, right? Positioning yourself to what is the thing. I want to show my editorial site real quick, because I think the second you hit it, just like your site, you understand like, oh, I think that you understand like the vibe and the aesthetic. You want people to understand who you are and what kind of work that you do. And it is just like a vibe check. Like your site should be a vibe check. And so my editorial site, I think, is that my Hawk.co site, and I'll admit this live on stream, my Hawk.co site is a nightmare. It is not well positioned. I'm not informing people what to expect. I'm not positioning myself well. It's kind of just here. And so I show off my editorial site to say, this is how I position myself in my editorial work, to be like, I'm crazy, it's insane, it's in your face, it's bold, it's all over the place. That if someone looks at it, I can easily define what is the thing. So someone, someone had a question here that I just missed. Let me scroll up. What if you have lots of work, but you haven't made some pictures of the making of? Should you describe the project with a story behind? Nick, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, you can even, like, if it means redoing photography of you working on it, maybe staging it a little bit. If that's what they're asking, I think, why not? Like, I think it's, again, it's all about what that screen is showing at the moment, and is it connecting to the person. So if you need to do that and show a little bit more of the storytelling behind it, why not? Sometimes even just the best work alone doesn't sing unless you see some of that. So I would say, why not?
Nice.
Preach.
Yeah.
Preach.
Yep. Can't have a solo without the choir.
Yeah. I did see someone asked about what my logo means. I can tell you really quickly. It's there to be it shows that it's on target. It's a little bit of movement. There's a little bit of like a fast pace. That's kind of me, just being a impatient kind of person. But it's also that I could do the quality work at a quick time. But I also want to make it look at a certain level of premium. That it has evolved over the years, and now where it's at, I'm very happy with it as just a symbol that represents certain attributes that you want it to be.
Yep, absolutely. And mine's an exclamation mark, because hi.
Boom. Say no more.
Say no more. All right, cool. So it is time for us to start moving into our portfolio reviews. Again, our disclaimer every single time, I don't know if it's a disclaimer, our knowledge every time is we will be talking about specific portfolios, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't apply to you, right? We want this to apply to everyone. We'll be giving broad concepts about maybe how we can suggest these people can stand out, but we want you to take that, process it, think about it, pray on it, and really think about how you can apply it to yourself, right? This is something for everyone, and even though we're not talking about you, we may be talking for you. Ooh, say no more, mon amour. Ooh, French. Love that.
And we all need to hear, I think we all need to hear this, because again, no one's portfolio is ever finished or final or done or the best. It's like, it's a work in progress.
Yep.
And I've been taking our own advice and going back to the new site that I'm building.
This is a great question from Sakina, because my work is definitely very specific to a style. Yours is in a certain zone. What if you do not incline to a particular vibe or style? How do you show off as a multidisciplinary designer?
Sell your strengths, sell your I'm sure your strengths could be typography, color theory, just great client services, your approach, your tact, all that stuff. It doesn't have to just be design, guys. It doesn't. In fact, 9 times out of 10, a client or an employer wants to hear about you, not the work and not the vibe and not the style you're in, right?
Yep.
Like, sell yourself on who you are. What do you bring to the table? That's a great spot. You can always ask a friend, a colleague, someone you worked with, what did I bring to the table? Get that in there, and you never know.
Absolutely, yes. And I love the questions coming through with chat. We're just going to stay with questions as they keep coming. We'll look at portfolios, but it's important to us to engage live with chat. So someone asked a question: what do you do if you do a lot of things? Is multimedia designer too broad? Should you be graphic designer? So if you see on my site, Hawk.co, creative services.
There you go.
I'm literally creative services. On my Twitter bio, I say that I'm a creative for hire, which means that if you want something creative, I'll do it, period.
Yeah.
I'll do a little bit of everything, because I do video, animation, design, branding, strategy, whatever you want. Sure, creative for hire. Pay me and I'll do it.
I like that. You've summed it up nicely. I think we've been using communication design a lot. communication designer is getting good feedback from students that are using it. I think it just says, like you said, it's a way of saying generalist in a way, but also you can pinpoint certain things that are maybe you're stronger at, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And oh no, I had a thought. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, sometimes your sell is that you can do everything. Sometimes the sell is look at the diversity of my portfolio and how well I do all of the things.
Yes.
Yeah. For newbies to the business, how controversial can we be? You can only withdraw as much as you've invested. So you have to invest. And then when you're ready to make that withdrawal, you hit it. I'm about to be real controversial on some stuff that I'm launching. That will be, I don't know, it's going to be a splash. I like to cause a little bit of controversy. I'll give you a little tease into what it is, so that you'll be like, wait, what? And this is going to start some controversy. I'm launching soon, probably in the next, 6 months or so, Hoch.XXX. So it will it's going to get pretty crazy. But yeah, so if you've built that equity and that is your brand to be controversial, to be big and bold, go for it. That's part of my brand values, is to be bold, be in people's faces, and be a little bit crazy. So it fits my brand. It may not fit everyone's brand to do something like
I don't think you just jump the waters immediately and go into that other thing. I always tell anybody, it's like, just know that it could come across, you might have to sit in front of someone and explain it to someone, and as long as you're comfortable with it, feel free to do it. Like, I think that's amazing. Yep. I don't take too many risks with that, because I don't feel like I have much to say in that particular arena. My art is my business, and I'm leaving it there. Like, it's just, you know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
So wherever you fall in that spectrum, just do it.
Yep.
I think it's a great question.
And that's why I love the dynamic between Nick and I hosting this, is we're in completely different zones, completely different designers, and there's no wrong answer. It's whatever fits your brand, however you position yourself, go for it.
Yeah.
No wrong answers.
Be ready to back it up. I think that's the best way to say it.
Yep. If you don't have a reason for why, then throw it out, which goes into next week. We'll be talking about finding your why. So come back and watch that. And then another plug for if you're talking about being a generalist versus a specialist, we have an episode about that. Go back, watch that. I believe that you can look down below at some of the videos that have been before and see if you can find that generalist versus specialist. I think it was a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
All right.
Excellent.
That was a lot of talking and a lot of really great questions, chat. I love that engagement.
I could do Q&A all day long with this kind of group. This is awesome.
I agree. We're going to give you a solid A+, solid 95% on that one from your professor friends here at Office Hours.
And there's a question that is also regarding our topic for in 2 weeks, I believe, which is all about costing and quoting a project as a beginner graphic designer. So
yes, we are not going to skate around numbers and be like, there's the ballparks or whatever. I'm going to tell you exactly the project, how much I charged for it, and what the process was to negotiate. So come back for that. We will tell you our hourly rates. We're gonna
and what yours should be, and what you, based on where you are, what's your experience, where are you at. Maybe even like, those little, I love those little nuggets of like, if you're down and you really need to work, just double your rates, give it a try.
Yep.
It's like, sometimes it works.
Sometimes shoot for the moon. Yep. Exactly. Okay, cool. So there's still a lot of questions coming in. We need to hop into portfolios. So we'll kind of bounce, keep your questions coming. We'll bounce back and forth. This is a portfolio show, but it's also here to help you. So we're going to balance both of those. And we're going to start out by looking at a portfolio by Juliaxart. And again, we're highlighting all portfolios today that are built in Adobe Portfolio. Kind of cool. So Julia, thank you for submitting using that hashtag Adobe Office Hours. We're going to take a look at some of your work. I want to hop in. Actually, Nick, do you want to talk overall about the site as we're landing?
Yeah, I mean, like, you get an instant clue on what she does, what her vibe is. I think this is some of the coolest little illustrations I've seen in a while. So if we're going off of today's topic and this, is it standing out? Your art stands out for yourself. Yep. I would maybe say just your presentation, your personal touch. If I was as good as an illustrator as you, I'd have the most rock solid logo of my brand, because you can do it. Like, have that up there, have something up there that tells me who you are, rather than just very simple text. Because wow, your art looks great. I would also say maybe bigger tiles, that maybe one big one that takes up 4 of those grids, and then some smaller ones. Like, give me some variety. But I think I'm seeing such an overload and it's almost blurring to me, and I don't want that to happen to you because you got beautiful, beautiful designs.
I agree. This feels like it's a bunch of like really well-dressed people trying to get like the paparazzi to take their photo, but there's like 90 of them in a group, and they're all just like posing like over each other. I really want to see some bigger images, some smaller images, really showcase and let it breathe. And then also shout out to this image here of your space image. This is from my daily creative challenge. So thanks so much for learning and being a part. You did a great job on this one of creating some type on a path, showing your path home using custom brushes. So great job on this one.
Excellent.
I'm going to explore your site a little bit. I'm going to go over to the projects tab and see what's going on over here. Oh, well, what we just said, I think, is existing over here. I still feel like there is a lot. And oh my gosh, there's a whole case study for the Mission Space Challenge. This makes my heart so happy to see you being a part of this. So let's hop in here maybe and talk. Actually, let's look at a different project. So this was just a week of challenges. These are really, really great. Again, shameless plug. Go do the daily creative challenges if you haven't. They're really fun. Let's hop into an actual project. Let's look at flower delivery site illustrations.
Perfect. Here we go. Very nice. Very clean. Again, maybe like a little bit of context as to what you were given, maybe some sketch. I'd love to see sketches of your exploration. Like, here's what my people and my trees are going to look like. Like, show me a few sketches of the development of this. Then you show it off here, and man, like, I think that would look fantastic. Maybe even pull them out of the web and show them nice and big. A little bit of variation of scale on this one would be nice. I
agree. And what I almost want to see is like, I want to see wireframes here with your illustrations sketched into them. So we've talked about this a couple times on stream. People always ask, like, if I don't have process shots, what should I do? And I'm not telling you to fake them. I'm telling you to get them out of your brain and recreate them. So you're not like lying with like, oh, I'm faking these sketches. They were in your brain, and I do this. I never sketch. It happens in my brain, and then I go straight into Illustrator. And so if I need to show process, I can say, hey, this was happening in my brain. I'm just trying to communicate it so I can show you. If there's a loud noise right now, it's the garage opening just below me. So if you guys can hear that, that's what's happening. But yes, go ahead and do those sketches. I would love to see a wireframe of this with your sketches in the site, just to show off your thought process as you went through.
You know, as these are characters representing a brand. They're almost mascots in a way when you think about it. I'd love to see what you determined the person would be. Like, let's say we're talking super friendly, you know, they have to have certain things within the male and the female and the flowers that relate or do something to the brand. I'd love to see the breakdown of that, because if I'm a client coming in here and I'm trying to think about hiring you, I want to see your process on how you made art for my brand. So what was the criteria? You know, if you look at the features of both the male and the female, you can see the similarities and you can see the differences. So like, why was that chosen? What were those reasons? Like, wow, you could sell this on me like crazy if I got a little bit more information on that.
Yep, I agree. And down here, having my illustrations for flower delivery website, I see a lot of these on portfolios, and this is equivalent. I'll give you kind of a real world example. So whenever I'm talking to like a casting person, right? I've done a couple game shows here and there. Whenever I'm talking to a casting person, they're like, hey, do you have a headshot? And I send in a headshot and I'm like, this is me. They're like, yeah, we know. That's what this does for me, is seeing descriptions of what I've just looked at, of saying my illustrations for a flower website, or on social media if you're posting and you're like, a recent project from class. I don't need to know that. I need you to sell me and take me on a journey for that. And so I don't need this line. Like, you could just kill it. There's enough information here that helps me understand, maybe putting a little paragraph at the beginning that walks me through, that takes my hand and really starts to communicate that through what the project is. So tell me something new each time.
What do you think
Also,
if it was, bringing a brand to life via custom illustrations?
exactly, yes.
Something that tells me a little bit like that could just replace and start the whole conversation off so much clearer, right?
Yep, exactly. And it's that, I mean, it's defining what you want to say and how you want to say it. Like
Yep.
you just said, that here's the goal, here's how we achieved it. That's all. Like, just
Yeah.
give me those two
Yeah.
things, and I'll be like, cool, you did it. Um,
Perfect.
and I agree. A lot of people are talking about having more color on our site. I want to see on this projects page, or really in general, this top bar that's just gray. I want to see
Yeah.
that so bold and colorful with like a fun pattern or something. I really want that to stay as your signature up there as we go through these
Yep.
projects, and just make it really, really fun and colorful for who you are. Let's go
Yeah,
into the
I
hemp
think
oil themed illustrations real quick.
sure.
See,
There
these
we
are
go.
gorgeous, and there's only one in here. It
Yep.
looks like there are more because it's numbered one. So I would add in the rest, and then I also
Yep.
would just show them in context. Put this in a magazine. I could see this on the side of maybe some kind of CBD store or something like that. As a mural, like show it as a mural on a wall. We want to see the context for what it is. And when you're
It could
talking
be a
about
great
standing
packaging
out,
line too.
yes, exactly. We're talking about standing out. Doing something unconventional like that is something that makes you stand out. That it's, on the side of a building as a mural instead of a poster with like a blurry person walking by. It just helps
Yeah.
you stand out to do something that is unique in your presentation and context.
Yeah, I love someone even mentioned the great texturing, and I think that could be a thing to help you stand out a little bit. If you show that becomes like a signature in your look and the things that you do. To me, I always say like that's a great way to just add to a flat vector. Some people could do flat vectors like, crazy good. You don't need anything on them. But having this is like a bit of her signature. And I
Yep.
figure like it'd be neat to show that off, maybe even showing how you do it with a quick video. A potential employer or a freelance client might kind of dig that. So
Exactly.
you never know.
Yep. And if you like this kind of stippling texture, check out Adam Grayson. He's an incredible designer. We've talked about him in past streams, but he's an amazing designer. Kills this. He actually has a lot of good brushes in this style. We're going to hop over to our next portfolio, but in the meantime, I'm going to pull up his site so I can show you those brushes. So let's hop over to Tamara doing some
Yes.
UI UX fun. And Nick, you can go ahead and take it away.
I love doing these ones for UI UX. I really do. It's kind of fun for us, particularly not really being in that world.
Yes.
But maybe that might be the right kind of person to look at these, because I kind of feel like it's a little stuck in the same vibe of first impression, that it comes off just as like the UI UX approach. And I wonder if there's things to do that could really be a difference to her. I do like that she has this fantastic line at the beginning saying it's got best practices and accessibility in mind. She's given a bit of POV there. This is what she's feeling that her work does. And I think that's very nicely done in a way. I might mess around a little bit with the typography of your name. The all caps just feels like it's a little hard to read, and maybe that gives you a chance to have it looks like you have some fantastic typography skills. So maybe just a nice switch in there.
Yes.
But I want to go to just to enhance a little bit of what I was saying, the Salt Lake Design Week 2019 case study.
Let's do it.
Let's go into that one. So when we
let me
first
find
saw
it. There we go.
this,
Got it.
and some of these movements and these cool things that happen right at the beginning, I'm almost wondering how cool that would look more as your first impression. So if we're talking about how you're going to stand out, if these things are things that you have in your wheelhouse, I want to see those in addition to the fact that you're a UI UX person. And what a great way to just sing your praises by showing this off right at the very beginning.
I agree.
I love that. I think this is not seen a lot. So a lot of times I feel like if you have something that's, that little
Fun.
something up your sleeve, bring this in. These look really, really cool and really, really nice.
I agree.
it looks like that is it on this project, but let's go back to, you want to pick the next one?
Yeah, let's do it. And one of the mods in chat, sorry, I was trying to find it. That's why if you ever see me looking up like this, I'm looking at my monitor doing something if my face looks weird. So mods, I couldn't find link. If you could find Adam Grayson on Instagram, just link that for our people's reference. That would be great. Thanks, friends. Thanks, mods. So I agree that when I land here, I'm thinking, what is your thing? I have the kind of fat face type face here with those thin verticals, thick horizontals, kind of that it feels like upscale, maybe refined. It's kind of fun, fancy, right? We're going to like a tea party kind of thing. And then I get down and it's very minimalist, very like modern. I'm going to a museum now. Then I'm trying to figure out what is the thing. And to me, seeing that design week, that little motion here, I would love to see a little bit of motion on all of these. To me, that could be your thing. Even in these UI challenges, which I think that you were doing with Howard Penske right before this, looks like you're doing them every day, which is great. I'd love to see a little bit of motion in these. Make some gifts, show some interactions, and for me, show me how I can interact with your brand. For standing out, that is a huge thing, is sometimes you don't have to necessarily stand out and be like, oh, crazy. You just have to kind of segment yourself and say, hey, here's how you would interact with this. Here's how this would work with your life, and really invest yourself into the way that I would interact with it. And then I'll think that I'm interacting with it. It is, yes, Studio Grayson. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, friends, for that Instagram link. Yeah. That's Adam Grayson. Go give him a follow. Give him a like, and let him know you came from office hours, because he's great. And I know that he loves this community. So I'm into the Viz Digital tool for community mapping. I don't know what happened with all my words there. They kind of just fell out.
There we go. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
But with this, I, again, want to see some motion. Like, it was so fun when I saw that piece that you did. I just want to see a little bit.
Yes. I guess what I'd love to see this world where the UI UX gets maybe presented with a bit more case study branded vibe. These are brands. You have put something together here, and I think it just needs the introduction and the storytelling to really sell it a little bit more, because I know how much goes into these. She's got such great user experience. She's got the journey. She's got the privacy considerations. There's a lot of good content in here. Great color palette with the brand. It really looks nice. I guess it's just my intro to it would not catch me and keep me to read all of that extra stuff.
Yep. And so down at the bottom here, you have some awesome images that are showing us, I clicked on the wrong things. There we go. That are showing us some like brand elements. Put those in between, move them up, and take us on that journey. Let us understand the brand, put some type on those, some fun little zingy things, some good copy, and incorporate that into your case study. That would be very helpful for me to understand this. And again, to stand out, sometimes it's not about standing out in the crowd. It's about taking your client away from the crowd and taking their hand, walking them away into the space that you want them to be. Let's go ahead and take a look at one more. Nick, do you want to pick the last one?
Let's go with, I'm going to go with Max Light. Max Mag. Is that what it was? I clicked on it too soon.
Where is it?
Sorry. First one.
Oh, the Max Mag. Those are the UI challenges. We looked at those.
Oh, we saw that.
So those are just daily challenges that they're putting up as they start to work with those.
We got the IKEA one, the breadcrumb. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah.
IKEA. If you're in other countries call it IKEA. I was in Belgium and they were like IKEA.
I like it.
I know, right?
I guess again at the beginning, I want to see that billboard that tells me everything in a quick, with a beautiful, vivid color, showing it in use. Maybe people at the store with it in hand, and it says, the redesign of the most popular, shopping app. Boom, headline. Got it.
Yep.
Now you go into everything. Show the current, show its problems, show what things you really want to see it happen. Because look, now you got great content. You got why people go to IKEA. You got its new look and its new color palette. Everything looks great. So I think it's just that first impression, right? We definitely want to get that pushed so much more.
Exactly. Yeah. And having some zippy copy again, having that
Mm-hmm.
big billboard image that has, like finding your new home or something like that, or, making your new home, that it's about all these things you find at IKEA to make a home. I love that you have identified the problems with the current app a
Mm-hmm.
lot and kind of started to do that. I definitely want to see um, you have great user research here. I'd love to see more of that actually. And it seems like there's a big open space here that I want to see something in, but I don't know what.
Yeah.
It's kind of just there.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see. It feels fairly unbalanced as you go through there.
Yeah. I would also say too, like, I'm curious to see, I'm not seeing in all of the different images that are on screens, I'm not getting an IKEA brand vibe in there.
I agree.
Like, knowing that brand so well, knowing what colors they use, like the logo is very, very like missing in a lot of this. And I don't know if that was part of the plan or in the approach, but I think there's something about seeing it. It's definitely showing in the current app. You've got the beautiful blue, you've got that yellow. It definitely feels IKEA to me. It's like their type choices are very IKEA. I'm almost not feeling that 100% with the new look.
I agree. Yep. And
Got to be careful.
yeah, one more time. Somebody asked, what are your thoughts on having a portfolio on Behance? This technically is a portfolio on Behance. I'm going to take a shot here and click on her Behance. And yep, so these are the same projects that are happening on her Behance. If we come over here, go to her work, you can basically take your Behance and click on, there will be a button. Oh, here, I'll show you mine. There'll be a button that just says edit your portfolio or edit with or Adobe portfolio, and you can convert your Behance portfolio into your Adobe portfolio, and it gives you a site that here are all my projects. I can click edit Adobe portfolio. It will build one for me if you have Creative Cloud. It is also free for 60 days right now. So I'm going to pick my theme. So let's say I want a different theme. I've changed this theme like every week showing this off. We're gonna go here and use this theme. I think it's fun. And now all of my projects have been converted over. They have all of the themes. And if we click into any of these, let's look at the weird Easter dot work that I was doing. You can see all of my case study that I had built in Behance is now showing on this site in my Adobe portfolio. So super easy to convert those two. So yes, have your portfolio on Behance, convert it to a site, and then you have the best of both worlds.
Yep.
All right.
Perfect.
Let's hop into our last one. We got about 10 minutes here. I need to make sure that we have time at the end. Please, everyone in chat, at 150, just start spamming chat for me to move on, because I will not.
And we're gonna be looking for a new winner.
Yes, that's true. We are gonna. How do we want to do our giveaway for this stream?
Well, if we're talking about standing out, you got to put something in chat that's going to stand out.
Oh yeah, not yet, but we'll get there. Yeah, we'll see.
I'm just waiting for that scroll to get going.
My goodness.
We will call it.
Let's look at Aarefa Tayabji real quick.
Yes.
I feel like I did pretty good at that one. Let's look at one or two of these projects, because I think that we had feedback on this, a lot of similar feedback on a lot of these projects. So let's hop into the food photography, because it is a gorge.
Yeah, very well done.
Gorga, as they say. So let's just scroll through this and let me know any thoughts.
I'm a big fan of this. I want to try this just for fun, because I love design. I love cooking. This would be an amazing, fun experiment to try. A lot of great stuff here. I mean, this is an endless amount, and I have been guilty of doing this because I feel like I've took 800 great shots, and I'm going to show you 800 great shots. I think we could limit it a little bit. Definitely try to limit this down to 2 to 3 per category or per composition here. And I think it comes across. We get exactly what this is, but again, I'd love to see maybe a bit more, maybe a video of you doing this, and that might be here. I don't see it, but I do like the picture of you. Is there a time lapse?
Yes. No. Oh. Sorry, I want to see time lapse.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I love seeing that. That would be great. I think, there's so much work here. This is amazing. I'd love to just see you, show me that this was what was it for? Because I'm assuming this would be just experimental, and you mentioned experiments at the beginning, but maybe what I would do is, this talent you have, maybe take it into some brands, do some brand work of it. Show what you can do for Starbucks, what you can do for Hershey's, anybody that this would relate to.
I
Why
agree.
not?
Yep. So for me, we're still scrolling. We're about 3/4 of the way through. There's way too much in this project. We're talking about what is your thing, I don't know because there's so much stuff. Even though it is all food typography, I don't know because there's so much stuff here. So I would break this into separate projects. Just show me case studies for those. I'd love some behind the scenes, mood boards. Yes, Michael, mood boards. Showing some more of that process, I think would be great. Let's go ahead and hop over to Twice, share a cuppa, which I believe is what they call a cup of coffee over in, I know they do in Australia, but I don't know where else. So let's look at this. It's a branding project. So let's kind of scroll through.
Cool.
And right off the bat, my thoughts, there's a wall of copy here. I want to see what is your thing. What is the thing right away? I love that you're showing the daily creative challenge. I don't think that was with Julia. Cool. And so I love that you're showing like, hey, I did this for a daily creative challenge, but I want to see like right away. Here's the hit, the billboard.
Yep. You need that intro that really tells us everything in there. I think too, we're getting a wall of copy, and there's, like we talked last week, the hierarchy of typography could be a little bit more refined. So we're understanding it. I do like where you're going into certain things and showing the exploration of it. The pad, it's a little overwhelming to see your logo over all these different patterns. Again, I think a brand is going to limit it to maybe one or two and have usage reasons. So one's maybe interior, one's exterior, one's summer, one's winter. So I would mess around with those a little bit. They do compete a lot with what's going on, even though your logo's in the white box. And I think the illustration was a great attempt of, again, like your food photography, there's a lot of extra in there. I think if you pulled out a lot of that detail, there might be something really fun to play around with there. But if this was a fun little challenge and you did it, I have to salute you for doing extra work. Doing these challenges is really, really great. It just needs that refinement to get a better first impression for me.
Yep, exactly. And for me, for these patterns, put them on coffee cups. I don't need them just as patterns. Put them on an Adobe Dimension mockup. I know they're good mockups because I've used them for a client. Toss them on a coffee cup. Show us in context. I love these kind of illustrations that you're using a lot. The way that you've converted them is very fun. And I think you're breaking down too many elements without showing them together. So you've broken down here all the elements that I'm using in the brand. How did you use them in the brand? Show me the brand, show me the overarching brand, and really kind of pull it together. Because right now it's a bunch of different elements that I'd love to see pulled together more.
Yeah, I do like, when you show the inspiration there and her reference from the blend iced tea thing. I think that's you did kind of come close to that. You definitely showed if that was our expectation, you did get it, which is really, really cool. I do love your ideas about taking those patterns, putting them in environments, putting them on shopping bags, putting them on the cups, like you said, interior murals of a store. Show us what the store is going to look like. I think that's another thing. What other application can you do with this? And again, edit it back a little bit.
Yep,
I agree. You got some fun stuff to mess around with.
Yeah, so speaking of Aarefa, that's where we're going to wrap up our portfolio reviews. But Aarefa, overarching, definitely make sure that you are editing. You're asking why on everything you post. And that's what we're talking about more next week. So come back and tune in for that, of why am I putting this in my portfolio? Why is this image so big? Why is it this image as opposed to another one? Why are there so many?
Yes.
If there's not a good reason for that, a lot of times you have to learn to edit it out. If you've taken any classes with me, you know that if I ask you why on a project and you don't have a good answer, you start over. Because as you make those decisions, you need to be in your mind answering the idea of why am I making this decision. So I think coming up, we have a couple more things that we want to talk about. Next week, we check that off. Come back next week, same time, 1 p.m. We will be here. I think... Let's see. I don't have a schedule for what's coming up next, so I know that something is coming up next.
Someone's gonna be here.
Come hang out. It should actually. Hold on. It's right below me. Oh, Peter Del Tondo's up next. Guys, I'm going to do a giveaway for Peter Del Tondo. We're going to do all kinds of giveaways. So stick around for the next stream. We're not signing off quite yet, but at 2 o'clock, when Peter Del Tondo goes live, I will have a secret emoji for you to put in chat. And we will be giving him a little raid from our Adobe Office Hours. He's doing the XD challenges, and I will pick one of those people who's using the secret emoji, and I will give them one of my free fonts that you can find at hawk.shop. I will send you one of those, so stick around for that stream. I'll give you the secret emoji. Nick, do we want to do our giveaway and then make our announcement?
Ooh, let's do it. All right. So I'm going to leave it up to our group here to chat the most, something we cannot stand out.
Yes. So we're giving away a free year of Creative Cloud right now. Very fun.
Show us your creative skills.
What's your creative skills? Stand out. Find a way to stand out in the chat. We will give
5
you
lines or less, though.
Yes,
you can't do more than 5 lines.
A couple minutes here. And while we're doing that, as we're looking, I may turn off the mic for just a second so that Nick and I can speak candidly, without you guys hearing. So
here they come.
I'll be back in just a second. You'll see my little faces. We'll be going. So give us just a minute.
Pick me.
In the meantime, you can go to bit.ly right above and join our Slack because you have a second.
Okay.
All right. Try to read our lips. Everyone's like, it's silence. Yes, you are trying to stand out in chat right now. Make us notice you, and we will maybe give you a free year of Creative Cloud. And then we have an announcement coming up. We'll have 1 more minute, 60 more seconds of this. Stand out in chat. Let us know who you are.
Yes. Come on.
All right, we are back from our deliberation.
Whew.
Our winner is Christine Cho. Christine Cho, you got my attention right away. You just dictated that you were the winner, and I love that confidence. And sometimes that's what you have to do with clients. You go in and you say, hey, this is how much this project's going to cost. This is what it's going to be, and that's just the way it is. And I love that you just went in and you're like, guys, they already announced that I'm the winner. That kind of confidence is fantastic. Take that into every project that you're working. And there's a big difference between being cocky and having confidence. So that was really great confidence. Great job, Christine. And somebody agreed. They're like, give it to Christine.
That's great.
So yes, and we will be doing, if you didn't win this one, we will be doing on social media, again, hashtag Adobe Office Hours. We'll be giving away another Creative Cloud subscription next Friday. So this week, hashtag Adobe Office Hours, and we want you to do the same thing. We want you to stand out. Tag Adobe Awards, tag Nick or I on social media, and show us how you can stand out. Show us some of your work, show us your presentation skills. Just make sure that you are using that hashtag Adobe Office Hours. And next week on Friday, same place, same time, we'll be giving away another one. So make sure that you are posting. I know we're just throwing them out left and right. Adobe loves the community. They invest in the community, and they've given us a bunch to throw out. So reach out to Nick or I. Nick, where can people find you on social media?
Longo Designs Inc. and Longo Designs on Instagram.
Yes, and you can find me on all social medias at hoch.co, HOCHDOTCO, all words. You can tag us. You can also tag Adobe Awards. They're the people that will be tweeting about office hours. And be sure that you hashtag Adobe Office Hours. If you do not, it will be a problem. We won't be able to find you. So hashtag Adobe Office Hours. Show us how you stand out. Post on social media. And who knows, maybe a client client will see your project, maybe they'll see your presentation, and you'll get a job out of it.
That'd be our first big success story.
I know, right? Yeah. If anyone has applied things that they have learned in office hours and gotten work out of it, let us know. That's what I want to see. Post on Instagram, tweet on us, whatever. Let us know if you've learned something and then gotten a success story, because I want to highlight that next week, because it would be super cool.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we have 1 minute left. Nick, do you want to talk a little bit about summations for standing out and what we're doing next week?
Gosh, yes. I think it's just a matter of anything that's going to catch our eye, something creative, maybe copy. I mean, Christine won with innovative copy. It's not even designing, you know what I mean? And then next week, we really want to talk about the why. Like when you look at a project in your portfolio, it should be crystal clear. And that's the thing we're hoping to do next week. For sure.
Yep. And next week, if you submit your portfolios, we will very much be looking at those. And Nick and I may be reaching out to you with those portfolios, asking you why you did some things. And that way we can have answers. It won't just be a one-way conversation. We will have some back and forth next week on our portfolios so that we can have some answers and some questions to why you made the decision. So make sure you submit your portfolios, get creative with it, stand out, and use hashtag Adobe Office Hours on any social media, and we'll find you. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see you same place, same time next week. Bye.
Bye-bye. Boom.